computer. Okay. Okay. Hi, Lora.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad we're actually being able to see each other and to be able to talk about the workshop. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited about joining you. And can you, I know we chatted a little bit before I started recording, so can you repeat what you were telling me about your beautiful place?
Okay. Well, this studio has just recently been renovated. It was an old convent, so they've turned it into one big studio that looks out over the sea, and it's really beautiful, and it's ever changing because there's a very particular kind of ecosystem there where the tide comes in and covers what looks like grass, but it's actually some kind of there's a name for it, but I've forgotten. But it's so it changes all the time. So sometimes it looks like there's just it's just completely covered with water, and then the rest of the time it looks like it's grass. It's really quite different.
Is that heather? Is it heather?
No, it's not. It's kind of seagrass, but the sheep will eat it. So often it looks like a meadow that the sheep are eating on, and then the tide comes in and the sheep don't move. They just stay there eating, and the tide cocomes up around them, and then they stay completely still, and and it looks like they're walking on water.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, but they're afraid to move because there's different gullies and stuff like that where if they move they could fall in and have to swim out. They can swim, so it's not a big deal. But
how long does the water stay like that?
Just a couple of hours, and then it goes back out again. It changes all the time here, so it's really quite remarkable. But then directly in front of the studio we have Ireland's sacred mountain. So it's Patrick, which has always been our holy mountain here.
What's it called again?
Patrick, Croagh, Patrick. But this is how sacred it is. There's gold in the mountain and has been discovered, and nobody is allowed mine for gold for anything in it because it's not allowed to be touched. So it's actually very special, and that's directly across from us, and it's almost like a presence, like arms around us or something like that. It's really quite beautiful, very special.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
that's what you look out at when you're in the studio painting. And then goats in the garden as well.
Okay.
Yeah, wild goats.
Wild goats. Now, do you put pajamas on them?
Well, you could try.
I've seen those videos. Baby goats with pajamas. Oh God.
Gosh, that would be funny. I mean, probably the little ones you could. It would be so cool. But they're called Old Irish goats, and they actually have a lineage that goes back 5,000 years in this area. And they are the indigenous breed in Ireland. So it's really quite remarkable. But the people that I work with here in the studio, they have actually been instrumental in saving the goats from extinction, because hunters would come and hunt them and stuff like that. So they actually have worked very hard to save them from extinction and save the lineage and that sort of thing. But they're just beautiful.
Are they wild? They just go around.
Wild.
Nobody owns them.
Wonderful horns and really beautiful goats.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, they're wonderful. So then we have, there's an area down right in front of the studio where you can go and have a quiet time and do sketching and all that sort of stuff. And then at the back of the studio, we have a labyrinth, which is one of the, it's the Chartres style labyrinth. So I think it's based on, I don't know, is that 9th century or something? You might know that.
I think it might even be a little older than that, maybe 7th, but there's some lineage that came with it. There's a great website that is a labyrinth finder.
Oh, okay.
For all over the world, and you can put in where you are and it'll show you what nearest labyrinths are. So make sure you get yours listed on that site.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah, we definitely will.
Okay, I'll send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, wonderful.
But yeah, wonderful area.
So when we're there, I'm going to be working with acrylic and certain materials. But when I've traveled around the world, depending on where I am teaching, it's, and people are coming from all over, it's hard to bring a lot of things. You don't want to be carrying a lot of stuff. So I'm going to put together a limited list of what we'll need to bring. And I think to be able to work on paper or wrapped canvas so that you can just take it and wind it up and put it in a tube to take it home is one of the best ways. I've done that in Italy a few times, and it works out well. We've also done books, but I think I'm not going to do a book here. We're going to do some different pages that you would be able to make into a book. Okay. But what I want to be able to share with people is your incredible space and creating from a sense of place. Because when we're in our studio every day, we're kind of like, we know where everything is, we're working, and we get inspired when we go into a new place. At least I know I do. And so when you're traveling, your senses are changed. Your eyes are more wide open, and you're seeing things like as a beginner for the first time. And so when you see things that way, time as we know it is suspended. It's just like when you're going somewhere new in the car and you're driving, and then you turn around and you're coming back. It seems like it's so much faster when you come back than when you went the first time. Yeah. And it's because you're seeing everything for the first time. It's beginner's eyes. And so that's what I want us to do at your beautiful place, and to really use the space to tap into our inner vision, our inner voice of mark making. And I will have more definite information about what we're going to be working on, but it's going to be creating from a very spiritual place. And I tap into, the decades I spent as a spirituality counselor and labyrinth builder and curandera and different healing modalities that I've studied since I was a little kid in Mexico. So I bring that to the table, and that along with a lot of the folklore mythology that I've been reading about Ireland. And so we're gonna create a new energy right there, because everybody brings their story, and it's about sharing the story. So that's what I look forward to doing.
Amazing. It just occurred to me though, when you were talking about working on books, I can hold on one sec. Let me just see if I can find one.
I just love that painting. It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Now, I just want to show you something. Now, I can get stuff like this all the time. These are very old. This is a very old Irish book, for example.
Wow.
And sometimes they have hard covers, and sometimes they're very old. But I can get some of these, for the students if you want. And even if you just wanted to use, say, the front cover and then later put it on something. But, that's something that's available. And like this book, for example, is in Old Irish, which is not used anymore. I mean, I don't no idea. It's very old, this book. So there's things like that I can pick up for you if you want.
That would be amazing.
Available. But I think it would be really fun as well, to have something like that belongs to this place.
Of course, yeah. And I love collage, so we'll be doing collage and incorporating that in. That even, excuse me. Wonderful. That would be terrific if you can get some of those. Yeah. I have an encyclopedia from the 1700s, and it's in Middle English, I think, not Old English, but it's just incredible to see the letters and the words, how they're spelled. And
that's so exciting. Yeah. I mean, I'll just make up packages of ephemera for people, and you don't even have to use it here if you don't want to. People can just take it with them. But I think it would be fun to have something that really kind of comes from here. And
Oh, definitely. I love that. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So the places where we're going to be staying, people have like their own little cabins, and then we have meals together and
Yes, we
go
have
on
meals
some
together.
excursions and.
So in the convent, if anybody needs photographs, I can send them. But in the convent, there's the old dining room, which was where the nuns all ate together. So, you know, we have that. The whole place has been renovated, but, you know, it's kept the old style, a lot of the old features. And so, yes, we eat here. And then the main residence, though, is just around the corner. And so there's another big dining room there and living room, and lots of the bedrooms are there. There's another building beside that that has more bedrooms. So, you know, so there is some, just a couple of different buildings.
But we're kind of all grouped together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we will, you know, we'll have lunch together and meals together. And but people, you know, lots of people maybe would choose to go for a walk after dinner, or, you know, whatever. Like the evenings will be long when you're here.
I was gonna say in June it'll probably be long days.
Yeah, till 10 o'clock. So it's really lovely.
Wow.
Lots of people go swimming too. So if you're into that, you know, it'll be cold, but it's so
I was gonna say.
energizing. It's so amazing. I think that's a lovely thing to do when you're in a new place. But and lots of people do. Even in winter time they do here. There's something very primeval about it, I think. So yeah. And then if anyone needs special supplies ordered, I can certainly do that too, you know, to make sure that what they want.
All right. Yeah, I might have. I know in Italy, I ordered supplies from an art store in Rome and had them delivered to the villa. And then we just kind of all shared in the cost, and we didn't have to travel with it.
Yeah,
so
we can do that. Yeah.
We could do that too.
The last group we had in, yeah.
Okay, so I might do that with some of the gels and mediums. So
that might be an idea. And gesso, and you know, people don't want to bring, or even white paint or whatever, you know. I mean, they can just bring their favorites, and we can have all the others here.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, wonderful. So are we going to be doing any little excursions around the area?
Yes, so we will spend a full day in Achill Island, which is not far from here. It's actually just over the bridge, but it's almost like going into another world. It's really quite beautiful. It's geologically, it's a very different part of Ireland because of, you know, earth movements or something like that. But it's really mountainous and quite you know, very stark, very majestic sort of scenery, really exquisite, and some amazing scenery there to see. We will also we'll go to Westport, which is a lovely little kind of a very chic town, lots of wonderful shopping and stuff like that, but also very historic. We'll be visiting several castles, one belonging to Granuaile. Grania O'Malley, she was a pirate queen in the 16th century.
Yes.
I know, she was really badass.
I know.
But she actually lived right here. I mean, the castle that she spent her final years in is literally just down the road. And so there's all kinds of, we'll be able to visit that. There's all kinds of myths and legends about that. And you know what
she was a very early creative entrepreneur, I would say.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, and she actually was one of the only people ever to stand up to Elizabeth I, the Queen of England. And Elizabeth was so impressed with her that she gave her back the lands that she had taken away from her. So from Grania. So, you know, she was very powerful. Spoke several languages, including Latin. And spoke, you know, and then conversed with Queen Elizabeth in Latin, because that was their common language. But she was very well educated and you know, just a really powerful woman. So it's nice to have all these different kind of you know, legends and myths. And not that she's a legend, but she's you know, it's all historical. But you know, to be in the same places as people like that. So let's see what else. Oh, and of course we'll visit the goat sanctuary to meet the goats sort of up front. And then, so depending on what other, what people want, I mean, there's different things that we can include depending on time. There's a deserted village on Achill Island that's really quite amazing. I mean, it's amazing to see how people lived, probably 150 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just so much. Oh, and then we have a labyrinth. I told you about that, didn't I?
Yeah, and I have exercises that we can use in creating with the labyrinth and different ways to tap into so much history there. And to me, it just becomes part of the paintings, part of the creation. And one of the things I love to do is I like to create these backgrounds using collage, elements that we find in your area, the ephemera, the pages. And then on top of that, you could create anything from an abstract painting to a landscape, to a combination of it, to figurative work. I love to have all types of artists, not just abstract, even though that's mainly what I do. But I just finished a piece where it was reinventing a master's. And so it was a Klimt piece.
Oh, I saw that was fabulous.
Yeah. And I was just in LA last week and went to the Klimt immersion experience there. And just amazing, just beautiful.
I haven't seen that. I saw the Hieronymus Bosch one.
Oh, okay. I bet that was wild.
Oh my God, it was so fabulous. I could have stayed, I just lay on the floor. I could have stayed there all day.
Because in his work, he has so many tiny little things going on everywhere. It's amazing.
That was really amazing, yeah.
So I've seen the Van Gogh and I've seen the Klimt now. And I think Monet is coming around next.
You can see the Bosch one. That's pretty freaky.
Okay, I haven't seen that one in the States yet, but that would be great to see. Wonderful. Well, we still have some spaces available for the workshop, and it's still going to be a small group. These are not huge groups, and they're very safe as far as protocols. We have all the information is on the website. You pick us up, and what's the name of the town where you?
Westport.
What is it?
Westport.
Oh, okay. Now I know I'm planning on coming over earlier and spending some time, so I'll probably just take public transport around Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't do well driving on the other side of the road. I've tried it a few times, but I'm okay in the country, but in cities, I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Wow.
So, and my husband, Mark, is coming along too. So, some people have a partner that may want to come and join them, and, the more the merrier. So I hope that you'll join us. And if you have questions about any of the things in the workshop, everything is on my website, on Lora's website, and you can email me. And this is going to be happening in June, and very excited to be coming. So,
can't wait to see you.
And I know. Thanks, Laura, for taking the time to share all of this. After hearing you talk, I'm just like, so excited. So is there anything else that you can think of that we should let people know?
Let's see. No, I think, Ireland is really friendly, and people have very transformative experiences here. That has been my kind of, my own experience with it. They come and they absolutely fall in love with the place, and so many people come back again and again. So if you've never been to Ireland, this really is, and it's not. Mayo is actually, it's not the most touristy place, which is really nice as well.
Yeah.
You're getting someplace that's a bit more, how everybody lives here, but also it's got this. It's sort of got this unknown quality, but it's really dramatic and absolutely beautiful scenery, and so much to see and do. It's really lovely. So
and with places like that, it's been my experience that when I'm able to stay in a place, rather than, a lot of people will go on these tours and they're like in a different city once, for a day. You don't get the sense of the place. So when you can stay in a place for a week and you really start to absorb that spiritual energy and just the way that people live and who the people are, that is transformative. And I think you carry that experience in your heart and in your soul years and years afterward. And you just, you just hold that. It's such a special gift to yourself. And I think now, after not being able to do much traveling for a couple of years, I know I'm ready. Yeah. So great.
I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing to be in community with other artists this way. And I have missed it. I've really missed it. So I'm ready to.
I mean, we have technology, but it's not the same.
Not the same. It's really not the same.
Oh.
Yep, you can't swim in that.
Well, I'll bring my suit. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's such a wonderful way of, feeling part of the place too.
I'll be out there with the goats.
Paddle.
I'll stand there with the goats. It's like, okay, tell me when I can move again. That'll be funny. And there's a bicycle trail too, isn't there?
Oh, yes, there's a bicycle trail, which goes miles. I can't even remember, it's like 50 miles or something like that. Yeah. So we have bikes people can borrow, or, if I think some electric bikes, and there's other, push bikes if you prefer.
Yeah.
But it's fabulous, really. And you really kind of go into the wilderness a little bit, but it's still kind of wilderness, but it's still safe.
Yeah.
There's no bears and that kind of thing.
That's pretty cool with electric bikes, that you could probably, cover that area pretty quickly. Yeah. Well, all right, I'm ready to come right now. So what's the temperature going to be like in June?
Well, it can vary, but usually, I mean, it's normally, we've had the most wonderful January, by the way, but it's normally very comfortable. I won't say, like, people don't come here to get the sun and such, right. But the weather is so dramatic. So even if, people say it rains a lot, and it does rain, but it won't rain all day. You'll have, you might have a little rain in the morning, and then you'll have an amazing afternoon. It just changes all the time. Yeah. And I just think it's spectacular. The weather never bothers me here, but I would, like most people coming, they're not coming for a sun holiday. So
right. Yeah. I'm coming here in June. It can get pretty warm, so I'm like looking forward to it being much cooler than it is here.
Yeah, likely will be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And much greener too.
Oh, it's so green. It's so green. It's almost like a viridian. It's so green. It's like, even in wintertime, it's quite amazing. I mean, it blows me away all the time. So you'll be surprised. It's really beautiful.
You might not be able to get rid of us.
No worries.
Oh, well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And
lovely. It was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you too in person. I can't wait to see you live.
Yeah. And listen, if anybody needs to, any information about anything, I can help. Just let me know.
All right. Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. And I'll bye.